Chapter 10, we will be learning a couple new special journals as we did in Chapter 9. And you could think of Chapter 10 as really the opposite of Chapter 9, where Chapter 9 we were buying and we had to pay companies for what we purchased. Chapter 10, now we are selling our merchandise and companies owe us money. So the first thing we need to talk about is the price that we sell items for. So the selling price, that is the price that would be on the price tag at our retail store. So the selling price is the price on the price tag. That includes a markup. So companies have to make money. So whatever it costs them to make the product or buy the merchandise, they have to mark that price up, adding a few dollars or maybe a percentage onto the original price they paid so that they can make money. That is called the markup. And then just like we had the accounts payable ledger in Chapter 9, now we have an accounts receivable ledger. So this contains all of the companies that we are going to receive money from. So just like we had our accounts payable controlling account, now we have our accounts receivable controlling account. So if we wanted to know in general how much we owe every company combined, that's in our controlling account here. So we owe all companies $10,498. If we wanted to know specifically how much we owed one company, we could look into their specific account. So now we have a special subsidiary ledger form specifically for accounts receivable. Notice that the column headings are the same, but what's different is that we only have a debit balance column for accounts receivable. Accounts payable, we only had a credit column. For accounts receivable, we only have a debit column. So we start out by having just the balance and a check mark. And then our balance going forward, when we post, instead of a check mark, we will have the page number that that balance comes from. So new in this chapter as well, we are talking about sales tax. So we all know we get charged sales tax when we purchase something. So that sales tax we pay, it goes in the register with the money that we give to the person at the register. That money then has to be given to the state, to the government, every 3 months. So companies will pay the sales tax they've collected every 3 months. So that is a liability. Essentially, the companies we buy from, they owe that money to the state. So it is credited just like we credit our sales. So sales tax plus sales is how much the company owes us. So using the sales journal, this is specifically when we make sales on account. So if someone buys something from us and they pay right then and there, we do not use the sales journal. The sales journal is only for when we make a sale and the person is going to pay us later. So this is our sales journal. Notice we have accounts receivable column. That's a debit. This was always where the largest number will go because this number is the sales plus the sales tax. So here's an invoice. Wells Apartments, they bought $454.50 plus sales tax, so they owe us the total, $481.77. How this looks in journal entry form, sometimes our book will give us the amount, they'll give us the sales tax and give us the total. Sometimes we'll need to calculate the sales tax and add that. So be sure to read the instructions to see what percent the sales tax is. Sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 8. So like I said, always the total number, the largest number goes to accounts receivable because they owe us the whole amount. Then we have our sales and our sales tax payable. So our journal entry would look like this: the date, the customer name. In the column account debited, it is always going to be a customer name. It could be like Wells Apartments, or it could just be a name. Like in our work together, it'll be a name, but it's always going to be someone that owes us money. Sales invoice, notice we don't need to put the S because it already is labeled sales number 498, so we don't need the S. The largest number is debited to accounts receivable. We have our sales plus our sales tax. So that is how we record a sale on account. In 10-2, we will be posting from the sales journal.